It's Saturday, the 26th of August, 2023, about 1 o'clock, and I am going to take Mr. Blackie Blackfur out for his walk. He didn't go out yesterday. Normally I take him out for about an hour every day, but it was rainy yesterday, so he stayed in. He didn't want to, but he did. So we'll see if he wants to go out now. Let's take a look. There he is on his chair. I'm going to open the door. He seems to be interested. You want to go out, Blackie? There he goes. Now I'm going to go downstairs, put my shoes on, and he will meet me down on the patio. Okay, I've come downstairs and I'm stepping out to see where Mr. Blackfur is. We've had about 1.5 inches of rain in the last 36 hours, so everything is pretty wet. I think he's still up on the deck. Let's see. There you are. Are you going to go for a walk or come down here? Huh? Mr. Blackfur? Well, I think he's just going to sit up there for a while. I'm going to set up. Usually he just sort of hangs around the house for about half an hour. And while he's doing that, I sit here on the stairs and read. And I have a book, which I left inside, so I'm going to go get it. He's going to check out the other part of the deck. So I'll take this opportunity to go get my book. Incidentally, this is a fairly steep staircase, and I'm going to walk up it. This is good exercise for my knee. So here it goes. And Blackie is just up here checking things out on the deck. Well, I'll step in and get my book. Okay, Blackie, I'm all set. What do you want to do? You're out. You've been wanting to go out for quite a while. Yeah, it's nice and wet out here today. You don't like that much. You can just look around. I'm going to go back down and set up so that I can read while you're doing your wilding. Now, Blackie decided to head down ahead of me as soon as I took a step toward the stairs. This is the good exercise, going down this staircase. Normally, step over step on my new knee. And there goes Blackie. Normally what he does is he goes over, if it's sunny out, he'll go over and he'll sit under the truck for quite a while. And then he'll make short forays out. He doesn't like bright sun because it really heats his fur up. He likes to stay in the shade, but on an overcast day like today, he's likely to do a bit more exploring. That's an old sandbag that I had over by the snowplow that appears to have blown over there. I'll have to pick that up. Anyway, we'll see what Mr. Blackfur is going to do during today's outing. Now you can see Mr. Blackfur over there by the truck, just past the magnolia tree here. He likes to go and explore a little. I don't mind if he goes into the woods on our property. We have a 1¼ acre lot, and he has about 1 acre of that is woods, so he can wander around in there. It's bounded on all sides by roads. What I don't want him to do is go into the woods on the other side of the main road there. That's Acadia National Park, and the Park Service has closed that to access. So, I'm not supposed to go in there, so I cannot follow him. And also, there's tons of downed trees in there, and it's virtually impossible to walk through. For me, not for a cat. So anyway, I'll just let Blackie do his thing, and at some point we usually walk up or down the road just to do a little bit of exploring. Well, the sun broke through a little bit and Blackie has retreated to the shade of the truck. He'll sit under there for, up to half an hour, just watching what's going on, sniffing the air, and occasionally making a foray out. But as long as there's any sun, he does not like to be out and about. Well, Blackie is just behind the corner of the garden there, the right-hand corner. And he's not really visible from here. I can see him, but I'm sure he's not showing up. So we'll see where he goes from there. Oh, a nose just stuck out to the right of the post. And we'll see where he heads to. Oh, he sees something. He's in stalk mode. Amazing how a cat can think that by lowering himself down an inch or so while walking across a freshly mowed lawn that nothing can see him coming. But they all seem to feel that way. Anyway, there he is, thinking about where to go next. Sometimes he gets up on my old dinghy and sits up there for a while. And sometimes he goes into the woods. We'll see. As of right now, he's been out for 35 minutes. He's headed over toward the dinghy. Maybe he'll jump across the ditch into the woods. Hard to say. I think he's probably either going to go under the dinghy or get up on top of it. I've been letting him go out as a free cat like this for most of the summer, pretty much the whole summer. And he really seems to enjoy it. He wants to do it every day. And we generally stay out for about an hour. He just jumped up onto one of the supports the dinghy is sitting on the far side. And there he is, up on the dinghy. As you can see, Blackie's a diminutive little guy. He weighs about 18 pounds and is one solid little guy. So there's not really too much around here that can harm him, except we do occasionally get coyotes passing through the area. So he's pretty safe here, but he's also kind of timid. He does not go into the woods much. He mostly looks in and just thinks about being an adventurous cat in the forest. I don't think he's going to go into the forest much today, because, as I said, in the last 48 hours or so, we've had about 1.5 inches of rain. And there's very poor drainage in the woods right around here, so it's very wet. So I suspect he's just going to sit up there and look around. Maybe go in behind my shed, and where it's relatively dry, and explore back there. But I don't think he'll go very far because, except for right behind the shed, the woods are pretty wet. Looks like he's going to lie down on top of the dinghy for a while. He's tucking his paws in underneath. Oh, changed his mind. Well, we'll see. I'll come back when he decides what he's going to do. Well, Blackie has descended from his perch on the dinghy. Not sure where he's going. Maybe around behind the shed. Or maybe he'll just explore the edge of the yard. He has been treated for flea and tick exposure, so he's reasonably safe from insects if he goes in the woods. And the first time he went in the woods this year, we treated him for the flea and tick. And he's good for about another 3 weeks before he needs another dose of treatment. But he's only been in the woods, I think, about 4 times. And he hasn't picked up a flea or tick yet. So he's just going to sit there and look around. I don't know if you can see him there, just to the right of the corner of the shed. about 1.5 feet underneath the spruce tree. I think he sees something from his posture. He's sort of crouched. Maybe a squirrel, which he has 0 chance of catching. He's been out for 43 minutes, so I'll bring him in about 17-18 minutes. And we'll see where he decides to go. He is the least adventurous cat I've ever had. I think he was an indoor cat for his entire life before he came to live with us. He loves being out, but, you know, adventures are not his thing, really. Just sitting out and looking around and sniffing the outside air and listening to the sounds. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, it was a squirrel. It ran up a tree. 0 chance of catching a squirrel. Well, I think he decided he's not going to catch that squirrel. He's next to my blue foam dinghy, which is a fiberglass dinghy I built over blue construction foam. It's a super light dinghy. It weighs about 40 pounds, which is its negative, because even with me in it, it doesn't draw very much water at all. And if the wind is up, it just skids along. So he's right there at the edge of the woods, sitting on a rock. And we'll see how he does. He'll decide to come in pretty soon. That was not his first futile squirrel stalk. He hasn't really learned that if you want to catch a squirrel, you have to watch and sniff out where it goes on the ground and sort of conceal yourself and wait for it to come by. All of our other cats learned that and were prodigious squirrel hunters. Blackie, not so much. But he's only, as I said, this is only about his 4th or 5th time in the woods altogether. So there he is, the ferocious Blackfur. I'm going to work my way over to the road so that if he comes, that way he will not get past me and make it into the national park. So, where are you going, Blackie? Back under the truck? He's got various bits of debris on him. Let's see if I can get that off, whatever it is. What have you got on your back? A twig? There. He's a very good boy. And there he goes. He's going to head back over, sit on a patio for a while. Well, Blackie has about 10 minutes left in this outing. This is making up for yesterday, where he stayed in all day. So, 9-10 minutes from now, I will capture him and take him inside and give him some kitty food, which is what I always do every time I take him in. He might be heading over toward the road. He likes to walk up the road. I'll have to see what he does. He might also head back under the truck. Oh, looks like he's headed for the road. So I have to go with him and make sure he doesn't make a foray into the national park, or I cannot follow him. Where are you going, Blackie? He works his way across the yard. My wife has got the entire area over there fenced off to try and keep the deer away from her rhododendrons. They will strip a rhododendron plant as high up as they can reach. And there are lots of deer around here. So Blackie and I will probably walk up the road a little bit. Looks like he sees something in that wild rose bush. Probably a junco. They like to hang out in those bushes. So he'll watch until the junco flies off. He can sit there completely motionless for quite a while. Anyway, he really appreciates these free cat forays. You can see he's in full stalk mode, ready to leap. So I'm pretty sure there's a junco somewhere in that bush that he sees. And we'll see what he does. Oh, there were 2 juncos. They went up into the spruce tree, and there the second one goes flying across the road. So no more birds to hunt. we'll see where he goes from here. We sometimes walk up to the next driveway. Well, I walk, he sort of stalks along the edge of the road, sniffing every single bush. And we'll see where he wants to go today. But I'll just go with him. He's pretty good about, when I tell him no, about not going into the woods. They come over here and sniff some grass. And probably eat a little bit. But he's generally a pretty good boy. I've only had to go in and get him out of the park twice. Once he got about 4 feet, and the other time he got about 50 feet in, and that was a bit more involved because he got behind some fallen trees I had to go around. Now he's just going to lie there on the driveway. So in a couple minutes I will herd him back to the house. If he doesn't want to go, I'll carry him and put him inside. Well, oh, a couple deer. See if I can get him to go back to the house now. He's got about 3 minutes left of his hour. Where he's gonna go? Go on, Blackie, run! He likes to run. Doesn't do it a lot, but he likes to do it. Go on, Blackie. No. 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 Time to go back to the house. Time to go back to the house. Good boy. He's really a very well-behaved cat. I see he sat on something. Oh well. When he gets back to the patio, we'll go in and he'll have some cat food. And Blackie will have finished his hour outside today. And he'll stay in until tomorrow. I'll take him out for another hour or so. And that will be his outing for the day. So I hope you enjoyed watching Mr. Blackfur explore his turf and generally have a good time. There he goes, in on his own. He knows it's time. So I hope you enjoyed seeing Mr. Blackfur exploring his turf, doing a little squirrel hunting, and generally having a pleasant outing. Today, it's really muggy out, so I'm gonna pick up my stuff out here and head in with him because I have to feed him. Always do when he comes in. I want to build a really positive association with coming in from out in the woods. Okay, thanks for watching.